send them an email, it will arrive before me. So I started writing emails to my parents in Italian. And then a lot of friends were asking me, tell us about your trips. So I started writing them in English. And Italian and English, so it was more complicated. And at the end, I started writing long emails to my friends. I have about 300 people reading me. And this year was a big birthday for me, and I think I got one of the best presents ever. So this is a book that's with all my stories. So my friends made a book with all my stories. So it's for me really, really good. There is everything I've done till last year. And it's not a blog, it's a book, but I can read it anywhere. I can read it when I'm in Mongolia, there's no Wi-Fi or anything. And no electricity, nothing to charge or Kindle or anything. Anyway, but we still had a blog, but I was mailing. It took us about 7 months to do all this, and then we were ready to go. That's the morning we left. Tomek was there, but he didn't leave with us. That's it. So how did it go? Right. I have 10 minutes about. So very quickly, it took us about 6 days to go through to Istanbul, or 4 days, 5 days to go through Istanbul. Worst can happen is we had a flat battery, which this lovely man helped us start the car, and I changed it. We went to buy a new one and I changed it. We had some beers, we had a kick-off party, we would look at map, which way to go. Then we did the whole northern coast of Turkey. That's the most interesting thing happened there is we got stuck in the middle photo there. We got actually stuck on and we couldn't get the car out of a gravel road. So we stopped an ambulance, we stopped a Belgian car, and then we got a Turkish guy that pushed us up. It was Ramadan, and therefore we couldn't find places to eat, but we found very nice people who invited us to eat with them. After that was Georgia. In Georgia, there was a big change from Turkey. Wait, no, that's Azerbaijan. I made tagliatelle for the first time, so I was very proud. Georgia is amazing, has really beautiful churches. Azerbaijan, we drove the whole night because we had a problem at the border. The border didn't work, like the informatic system didn't work, so they couldn't process our visas. Well, we spent the whole day. What we did, we made tagliatelle, of course. We were with other cars, we were playing football and just relaxed, and then we drove the whole night to make it to Baku because we had to get the visa for Turkmenistan. We left straight away Baku, so I've seen the hotel for about 2 hours, and that's the only 2 hours that's left in 3 days while driving. Then we crossed the Caspian Sea. There was an adventure where it was with a ferry. The toilet was like, you didn't pee for about 36 hours because you didn't want to get close to the toilet. We went to Turkmenistan, which is a little bit of an unknown country, but people is amazingly friendly. The capital, Ashgabat, it's white, marble, and the curious story there is that your car has to be perfectly clean if you want to go in that area. Of course, ours was not clean, so the policeman stopped us and it was like doing like this, and it's probably Russian, so I was like, I don't understand, and then I know the trick, what you have to do to if a policeman in a ex-Russian countries stop you, show them a map. Whatever map, they will not, just, I don't know where to go. And they get so scared and they let you go. So, just show it and you'll be fine. You don't have to be a woman. They still let you go because they don't know how to read it. They get really scared. The other amazing place in Turkmenistan, which is Gates of Hell or Darwaza, crater. 45 years ago, there was you call it a pozzo, but anyway, they were extracting gas from there, and it exploded. It actually imploded. So there was gas coming out, and the Russians said, let's just put some on fire, the gas will finish. It's been 40 years and it's still there, and there are 3 of them, and it's just an amazing place out of this world in the middle of the desert, and yeah, it's really the gates of hell. Uzbekistan, well, we went to Khiva, Samarkand, and so on. oops, no, beautiful, not very nice roads, but still amazing places. Really recommend it. But what I love the most is Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, the Pamir countries. We wanted to do this Pamir Highway, which is a road that goes to 4,655 meters, and to do it with a Yaris 1.3 liter engine, it's not really the easiest thing. But it was closed because there were riots in the area, so we couldn't do. But still, we get some fuel in a Tajiki way. There's friendly people, cars, we got stuck and they helped us. Really, it's just the people is so amazing there. They're like so friendly. I don't know, it's great. And Kyrgyzstan again, it's mountains 7,000 meter high. You're like this, you're at 3,000 meters already, and then you look and say, oh my God, I feel so small, and there's nothing, and roads again. We saw the first yurt, which it gets you into the mood for Mongolia. The people are friendly; they give you food and drinks just because they're friendly. We crossed Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan was boring. We'll not talk about it. It was really boring. Sorry, if there's any Kazakh person, it's just because after Pamir, after Tajikistan and so on, it was amazing. It was amazing, and then it was a little bit flat, let's say. Then we did a bit of Russia, because there's no border between Kazakhstan and China. Even it looks like there is, but there's not. 30 kilometers and there's China in between. So we go to Russia, babushka selling food along the road. That's just before we entered Mongolia. And then we got into Mongolia finally. So it's about 1,000 something kilometers to go. It took us 6 days because there are no roads. So that's our experience. We had to stay 24 hours at the border because there was slow processing, and then it's lunchtime, and then it's dinner time, and then it's like, oh no, I don't feel like working, so just take your time. But it was not the worst. The worst was the Turkmenistan border. I had to go to 13 different offices. Those are some of the papers. So I was going to an office, they would give me a paper, to go to the next office, give the paper, get another paper, go to the third office, pay 1 manat, which is the Turkmeni money, which nobody had. We couldn't exchange, so I was like, okay, I cannot give you the money, but anyway, somehow do it. Get another paper, go somewhere else, get a stamp, then it was lunchtime. So I had to wait an hour. Then I get another paper and go to the next office, but it was a lunchtime for them, so I had to wait. So it took us 12 hours. But again, you just smile, you just stay there and chat with the other people. There's no problem. We're gonna make it to Mongolia, right? So yeah, we had to pull the car out of the mud sometimes. We had to cross rivers. That's Mongolia. That's nothing, as I said. That car was broken. That's at Seicento and has some issues. Some locals, the kids with the globe. That's a portable toilet. When there is nothing and you have to shit, you kind of need somewhere to hide. And so you just take your tent and go away and you shit, and that works really well. Gives you all the privacy you want. There was a big river. We couldn't drive with our car, so we get pulled by a truck. Or those are the kind of bridges we had to drive through. And that's when we arrived. I felt like I was really dirty and so on, but it was just one of the most amazing experiences and sensations when I was there. So maybe you ask yourself how much money. We spent a lot. You can spend as much as you can or you're ready to spend. We spent about 4,000 euros each. It's a lot. It's a lot, I know. Reason, we spent a lot for the car. You can go for a 800 euros car and then it's going to be much cheaper. We had to get some insurance spare parts and so on for the car. Fuel, that's about the price we spent on the way, especially it's expensive in Turkey and in Europe. When you get to Turkmenistan, it's 17 cents per liter, so that's really nothing. You just want to drive because it's so cheap. Visas, as I said, 600 euros. We left the car there. We sold it for charity as well, so I had to fly back. And because I bought it, I arrived and I said, okay, I'm leaving in 3 days. I bought the ticket. 600 euros is not even so bad. And then we paid about 700 euros for lodging and food. So if you really want to cut it down the price, so you can get a cheaper car, you can be more than 3 people, so you can be 4 people, so it's cheaper. you can buy before your return flight, go through different ways, so less visas, and sleep in the tent all the time and eat packed food, which is what we didn't do. Just to finish, this is our story and just a few points out of it. So for me, it's not the destination that I don't choose the destination, it's the destination that chooses me. So I'm still looking for the one for this year, so I'll see if I have some inspiration here. Having to get many visas shouldn't be an excuse to stay home. Just go and do it. We live in Brussels, it's so easy. You have every single embassy you need. I even got the visa for Kyrgyzstan, and when I arrived there was no need for visa anymore. So it's like, come on, but at least I have a stamp on my passport. Knowing how to change a battery in a tire is a plus. Even as a girl, I think it's still needed to know it. Not knowing how to drive is not an excuse. Sandy made it. She hasn't driven since, so it's 3 years ago, she's still, 4 years. She still doesn't drive. Using maps and compass is still the best way to travel. That's the only way you know where you are. Otherwise, if you only follow the GPS, you look at the GPS, you don't look outside. Follow the map. Don't speed in Turkey. We had a couple of fines in Turkey, so just don't speed in the eastern Turkey. There's already said, show the map. The most out of the way you go, the friendlier the people is, because they're really so happy to see you. But buy for locals, talk to locals, sustain their economy, share what you have with them. Don't only use them for free lodging and food, just share with them. Just really, really give them something. They give you a lot and give them back something. Get lost in Mongolia. We're so happy you get to China. Try Sutsetse and Iraq. Sutsetse is, if you ever go to Mongolia, please don't try it 1, 2, 3 times, and the third time you will like it. It's tea with milk and salt. It sounds disgusting, but it's the best thing you can get when you're in Nigeria in the middle of nowhere. Iraq is fermented mare milk. That's less of the good thing, to be honest. Being a woman alone is not an excuse. Okay, I was not alone, but apart from this trip, I always travel alone. Don't be scared. Go. It's not going to happen. Just keep your head on your neck when you travel. That's how what my parents always said. Go, and you have the best time of your life, I'm sure. That's it.